Okay, quick update on this all power system. This thing is impressing me. So right now we are charging a battery. You can see the light flashing there. And if we look at the screen, we are 100% full and we're taking 27 watts to charge this battery. Now what's so impressive about that is because this system is full, we are now passing through. So we're charging this battery off of the solar panel basically. This is absolutely fantastic. It's working good. It's awesome. So just in case anybody out there watching might be curious about where we're staying for the night, this is where we're staying. We've got our hammocks, just like we always do when we come up here. She's working on some wool. The woofer's just chilling. We have our tote with basic, clothes and stuff like that. And there's the all powers, and there's our build. There's a container. And now you can kind of get a glimpse of what our situation looks like. Right over there, we got the dogs' food and water. And that's how we do it up here. It's pretty simple. What I want to show you today is this aftermarket DeWalt battery that I picked up on the TikTok shop. This was about $35, so I want to test this battery and see how well it works. I've got the all powers charging. Let's go ahead and make sure that everything is turned on. Let's get this battery charged. I'm really curious how this battery is going to stack up. I'm not sure how it's going to perform. It feels so good to be up here again. There we go. We got a flashing red. Now we'll just let that get charged and we'll get started. The objective of this trip here is getting walls framed up on our building. Now we've had a couple pretty good rainstorms, and as you can see, nothing has changed. The tarp worked very well. Everything looks good. So I'm really happy about that. Now I've got to admit, I made a pretty serious mistake. I left a knockoff DeWalt battery and a charger on the water tank when we left, and I'd forgotten about it. We got here and the battery works fine, but the charger had quit. So that's actually a backup charger that we had up here. So kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. Well, we have a solid indicator. So charging is complete. That's what we're gonna roll with. Looks good. These look like they're pretty good batteries, so hopefully they'll hold up. We'll definitely find out here pretty soon. And now we get to start the layout of the walls. So when it comes to layout, I am going to start with this new type of carpenter pencil. This is a Nick Pro 2.8 millimeter. You can push them and they'll extend your lead. And they also have a little sharpener right here. So if the lead is dull, you can sharpen it right here. So these are good little pencils for layout. They're just a carpenter mechanical pencil, but they're really nice. So I'm going to give this a shot. I got a bunch of them. I got yellow, red, orange, green, blue, all these different colors, but that's the Nick Pro carpenter pencil. So when it comes to layout, I have to determine how tall my walls are going to be, and I have to know how long to cut my studs. So if you look here at the rim joist and then you see the ledger below that, I want to have my T111 cover a lot of that. So I want my T111 to come down about 8 inches from the top here, from this decking. So 8 inches would put my T111 coverage to be about right there. So to do that, to determine all that, I have to figure out how long my studs need to be. I have to calculate how thick the bottom plate is, how thick the double top plates are, and also what length my studs need to be. So what I've came up with is 83.5 inches is going to be my studs. That includes the 4.5 inches for my double top plate and my bottom plate. And that gives me 88 inches on the inside. So my wall on the inside of the structure will be 88 inches. That's 7 foot 4 inches. That's going to be the height of my walls on the interior. And on the outside, the 8-foot sheet of T111 will overhang by 8 inches. So when I take my tape measure again and I measure from the subfloor down 8 inches, again, it stops just above these bolts. So that's my plan. I have to take that into account when I'm starting to lay out. Okay, here is a look at the layout. We've got our end stud, we've got our king and our jack. This whole area right here is the door. So we have another jack, another king, and then another common stud. And I made some mistakes on the layout, so there's going to be basically 3 boards here. There's a cripple right there. There's the word door, another cripple, and then nice solid construction here. So then moving on, we have another stud, and then we're going to start into the window. We have a 24-inch opening, so we'll have a stud that'll land here. We'll have a king stud, a jack stud, then we'll have cripples in the middle, and then another jack, king, and common stud here. So that will be the placement of our window. And then right here we have another end stud, or common stud rather, and then our end stud here. So that's our layout for this south wall. Mm-hmm.
This way, right?
Yep. Line it up on the edge of the board there.
Yep.
Yep. Good.
Then 34.5 again.
Yep.
34.5 is right there.
I'll mark it for you.
Okay.
You got it?
Yep, 34.5.
Okay. Got it. There's your mark. Don't look like we'll have enough on that piece to get a third one, does it?
Nope.
Okay, let's go to that one.
Okay, this one.
Mm-hmm. Just need one more.
34.5. Ooh, there's a knot right there. There we go. just slightly in.
You're doing good. Yay!
Yay!
Good job.